In the busy heart of Manila, where jeepneys honk and vendors shout under the golden heat of the sun, a 10-year-old boy named Miguel helps his mother sell snacks to passing workers and students. Their small stall sits near a crowded corner of Quiapo, where life is hard but full of rhythm and color. Every morning, Miguel wakes before dawn, carrying boxes of banana Q and bottled water, helping his mother set up before the rush begins. Despite their struggles, he carries a quiet joy within him, something that comes alive whenever he sings. His voice, sweet and powerful, echoes through the narrow streets, rising above the noise of the market like a ray of light. The other vendors often pause just to listen. "You sing like an angel, Miguel," one of them says, smiling. But to Miguel, it's more than just a talent. It's his escape from poverty, from hunger, from the endless grind of daily life. One day, while his mother takes a break, Miguel hums a song he learned from an old radio, an opera tune he doesn't even understand fully but feels deeply. A passing tourist stops, stunned by the sound coming from this little boy in a faded t-shirt and slippers. The man records Miguel singing and posts the video online with the caption, "Little Filipino boy sings opera like a pro." Miguel doesn't think much of it and goes back to helping his mother. But a few days later, everything changes. The video goes viral overnight. Millions of people share it. Famous singers react with disbelief. News channels pick it up, calling him the 10-year-old opera wonder. Reporters begin visiting their stall, and local organizations reach out to help. Amid all the excitement, Miguel remains humble. When asked what his dream is, he simply says, "I want to sing on the biggest stage in the world, so my mother can see me there." One evening, as they sit together under the dim light of their small home, his mom holds his hand and whispers, "Maybe God really has big plans for your voice, Anik." That night, Miguel falls asleep dreaming of standing on a stage with bright lights and thousands of people listening to him sing. A few weeks later, a miracle happens. A nonprofit organization offers to sponsor Miguel and his mother to travel to Los Angeles so he can audition for America's Got Talent. The journey is almost impossible for them to imagine. Neither of them has ever left the Philippines. With tears in her eyes, his mother thanks everyone who donated. They pack one small bag each, mostly clothes borrowed from neighbors, and board a plane for the first time in their lives. As the plane takes off, Miguel looks out the window, seeing the clouds drift by, feeling like he's leaving one world and stepping into another. When they land in Los Angeles, the city feels like a dream. Giant buildings, endless lights, and people from everywhere. They take a bus to the AGT venue, where crowds of hopeful performers wait, each chasing their own dream. Miguel, small and quiet among them, clutches his mother's hand tightly. Backstage, he listens to others warm up, dancers stretching, singers practicing scales, comedians rehearsing lines. His heart races, but his mother kneels beside him and says softly, "Don't be afraid. Just sing for God and for your dreams." When his name is called, Miguel walks onto the massive stage, the crowd buzzing in curiosity. The judges, Simon Cowell, Sofia Vergara, Heidi Klum, and Howie Mandel, smile at the sight of this tiny boy standing confidently under the bright lights. "What's your name, sweetheart?" Simon asks, leaning forward. "My name is Miguel, and I'm from the Philippines," he replies, his accent clear and his voice calm. "What will you be doing for us today?" Simon continues. Miguel answers, "I will be singing opera." A ripple of surprise spreads through the audience. The music begins, and the lights soften. Miguel closes his eyes, takes a deep breath, and sings his first note. The room instantly falls silent. The voice that fills the theater doesn't belong to a child, it's powerful, rich, and emotional. Simon's eyes widen in disbelief. The audience watches, completely still, as Miguel's voice rises higher, echoing through every corner of the hall. By the time he finishes, the crowd explodes into applause. His mother, watching from backstage, sobs with pride. Miguel bows shyly, unaware that this moment is the beginning of something extraordinary, a journey that will change his life forever. The music fades, but the echo of Miguel's final note lingers in the air like magic. For a brief moment, the theater is frozen in silence, as if no one wants to break the spell. Then suddenly, the audience erupts in cheers, applause, and shouts of disbelief. People rise to their feet, clapping and screaming his name. Simon Cowell leans back in his chair, eyes wide, almost speechless. "Wow," he mutters softly, shaking his head. That was unbelievable. Sofia Vergara wipes a tear from her eye. You're 10 years old? She asks, amazed. Miguel nods shyly, his hands trembling. The crowd chants, "Golden buzzer. Golden buzzer." As Simon stands up slowly, staring at the small boy in the center of the stage. You know, Simon says, his voice calm but emotional, sometimes, a performance comes along that reminds us why this show exists. You have one of the purest voices I've ever heard. Miguel's mother stands backstage, hands pressed to her mouth, her heart racing. Simon takes a deep breath, looks at the audience, and then slams his hand on the golden buzzer. Golden confetti bursts from above, raining down like sunlight over Miguel's tiny frame. He gasps, covering his face in disbelief as tears fill his eyes. The music swells, and the judges rush on stage to hug him. Simon bends down, smiling warmly. You deserve this, Miguel. You're something truly special. Backstage, his mother can't hold back anymore. She runs out, tears streaming down her cheeks, and wraps him in a tight embrace. I'm so proud of you, Anik, she whispers, her voice shaking. The audience gives another standing ovation as Simon helps them off stage. The moment spreads across the world within hours. Clips of Miguel's performance go viral on every platform. People call him the voice of an angel, the golden boy from the Philippines, and the young tenor who stunned Simon Cowell. Within days, he gains millions of followers. News outlets from all over reach out for interviews. Miguel, however, stays humble, spending quiet moments praying and helping his mother just like before. For him, the confetti wasn't just gold, it was hope, proof that even a boy from the streets of Manila can shine on the biggest stage in the world. Weeks later, as the Golden Buzzer recipients prepare for the semi-finals, Miguel's life changes completely. He's no longer just a local story, he's an international inspiration. American fans send letters, Filipino communities abroad celebrate him, and back home, the streets of Manila proudly display banners with his face. People gather around small televisions and phones to rewatch his performance, feeling pride in every note. But with fame comes pressure. Each day at rehearsals, Miguel feels the weight of expectation pressing on his tiny shoulders. He worries if he can live up to the moment that made him famous. At night, while practicing in his hotel room, he sometimes pauses and stares out the window, whispering, "What if I can't do it again?" His mother, sitting beside him, reminds him gently, "You don't need to be perfect, my son. You just need to sing from your heart." When semi-final night arrives, the theater is even larger, the lights brighter, and the crowd louder. Miguel walks on stage wearing a sleek black suit, his hair neatly brushed, holding a small rosary in his hand. Simon greets him with a reassuring smile. "Good luck, Miguel. We've been waiting for this." The music begins. This time, he's chosen Ave Maria, a song full of grace and emotion. As he sings, the audience falls into complete silence once again. His voice soars higher, clearer, deeper than ever before, carrying an emotion beyond his years. Even the orchestra members seem lost in his sound. When the final note fades, the theater explodes into applause. People in the front row are wiping tears, and Simon stands again, visibly moved. "Miguel," he says softly, "you are not just a contestant. You are a miracle." The judges give him 4 standing ovations, and social media lights up within minutes. Fans from every continent call his performance divine. But for Miguel, it's not the fame or the praise that matters. When he walks off stage and hugs his mother, he smiles quietly and says, "I sang for you, Ma." She looks at him proudly, eyes glistening, and replies, "And the whole world heard your heart." The day of the finals arrives, and Los Angeles is buzzing with excitement. Miguel wakes up early in his hotel room, staring at the ceiling as the morning light filters through the curtains. His heart beats fast. This is the moment he's dreamed of since he was a little boy singing in the streets of Manila. His mother sits by the window, silently praying, her hands clasped around a rosary. "You've already made us proud," she tells him. "Whatever happens tonight, remember that." Miguel nods, though he can feel the nerves building inside him. He knows the competition is tougher than ever. World-class dancers, illusionists, and singers have all brought their best. But deep inside, he reminds himself of the words his mother always says, "Sing from your heart." As the day passes, he practices his breathing, listens to the orchestra tune their instruments, and hums softly to keep his voice warm. When his turn comes, the producers guide him backstage, where the glowing lights of the AGT stage shimmer through the curtains. The audience's cheers sound distant, almost like a dream. The music director leans over and asks, "Are you ready, Miguel?" He takes a deep breath and nods. He's chosen to perform Time to Say Goodbye, a song that carries both power and grace, one that represents how far he's come. As he walks onto the stage, the crowd gives him a warm applause. Simon smiles, giving him an encouraging nod. "You've got this," Simon mouths silently. Miguel closes his eyes as the music begins, the soft orchestra filling the air. Then his voice rises, pure, steady, breathtaking. Each note carries emotion beyond his 10 years, a mixture of longing, gratitude, and pride. The cameras zoom in on his face as he sings with every ounce of his soul. The audience is silent, completely entranced. As he reaches the final line, his voice climbs higher, filling the entire theater with a wave of sound that seems to touch every heart present. When the song ends, the silence breaks into thunderous applause. People stand, cheering, some with tears in their eyes. Simon wipes his face with a tissue, visibly emotional. As the applause continues, Simon speaks slowly, his voice trembling with sincerity. "Miguel, I've been doing this for many years, and I've never seen anything like you. You've not only amazed us, you've touched the world." Sophia adds, "You remind everyone that talent has no age, no boundaries. You are a gift." Miguel bows deeply, tears in his eyes, as golden lights sparkle behind him. Backstage, his mother cries openly, watching her son glow in the spotlight. For her, it's not about winning anymore. It's about seeing the boy who once sang barefoot on the streets now standing on one of the biggest stages in the world, earning love from millions. When the show ends and results are announced, Miguel doesn't win the trophy. The winner is a dance group from another country, but the audience chants Miguel's name again and again. Simon stands up once more and says into the microphone, "He may not have won tonight, but this kid has already made history." As the crowd cheers, Miguel smiles through tears. He walks off stage, and his mother meets him with open arms. "You didn't lose, Anik," she whispers, holding him tight. "You won the hearts of millions." Reporters rush to interview him, asking how he feels. "I'm happy," Miguel says simply. "Because I got to sing for my country and for my mom." His words melt hearts across the internet. By morning, his final performance becomes the #1 trending video worldwide. Messages pour in from famous singers, TV hosts, and fans from different countries. They call him the "Golden Voice from the Philippines." When Miguel and his mother return home, thousands gather at the airport to welcome them. People wave flags, cheer, and hold banners that read, "Our Golden Boy." Miguel steps off the plane, humbled and smiling, holding his mother's hand. Months later, he performs at charity events, sharing his story with children from poor communities. "Never stop dreaming," he tells them. "I was just like you once." The little boy who sang in the streets now sings on stages across the world, reminding everyone that dreams are stronger than poverty and faith can carry even the smallest voice to the loudest stage. As the lights fade after his latest concert, he looks at the sky and whispers softly, "Thank you, God." And somewhere deep inside, he knows this is just the beginning of his song, a melody that will keep inspiring the world for years to come.